What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we're going to be having a look at Grimlock. I've been trying to get round to this video for a couple of days, but there's been a lot of Transformers leaks, there's been some Keyforge stuff to get to, but ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take a closer look at the Grimlock, which is going to be coming in Rise of the Combiners. We did a video about Volcanius, I will pop a link to that one in the description. This is not a video about Volcanius. This is a video about Grimlock, because Grimlock, and I call it broken, right? The thing is, when I call it broken, I'm not going, whoa, bro, it's broken. I'm saying that it is a card that breaks the rules of the game. So, I mean, one of the most fundamental rules we have in a Transformers trading card game is that you cannot have more than one character with the same name. Now, what I mean by that is, if you want to play both of the Grimlock, that's fine, because they have different names. That's not a problem. You can play Grimlock Dinobot Leader, and you can also play Grimlock Powerful Commander, because although they're both Grimlock cards, they are Grimlock cards with different names, so you're fine. But you're not allowed to play two Grimlock Powerful Commander. Except Grimlock's got such a ridiculous ability that it breaks that rule. It also lets you bring in cards from outside the game. Let's take a closer look, shall we? So if we start off with the stats of Grimlock here, it is a 9 cost and the stats don't quite match up for a 9 cost. 9 is above average, 4 attack is average, 13 health is just above average, and 1 defense or 0 defense is below average, and sometimes terrible. Although the fact that you have got a defensive 0 in alt mode does mean that you can actually take quite nice advantage of a new card which we're getting in wave 2, Erratic Lightning, which gives you +3 attack, but it lowers your defense by 1, but you can't go lower than 0, so you just go up to 7 attack, 13 health, which is quite nice incidentally. But the stats here generally don't add up for a 9 cost character. It's not quite good enough. And it's a vanilla card in alt mode. So if we're going to be playing it, we have got to have a ridiculous skill in bot mode. And we do. And it is a ridiculous skill that, like I've said, breaks the game. When this attacks, choose a Dinobot you own from outside the game, put it into your KO area in alt mode, fully damaged. That is absolutely over the top. You're literally going to turn up to tournaments and go, right, I've got my 3 Dinobots, let's chuck them out. But actually, while I'm here, I've actually got other Dinobots in my bag which I'm going to use. And all you need to do is attack. And look, I know that people can stop you, and if you're playing against Grimlock, you've got to take down Grimlock. This isn't like most decks where, oh, there's one character I'd like to take down first. No. You have to take down Grimlock, because Grimlock just keeps going. So there's a couple of things you can do. You can play a force field and hope that your opponent isn't playing something like a ramming speed or other card, which can get rid of utilities. And then you're going to last a couple of turns, and that's quite nice. Or you can just go heavy tough and heavy blue. Play a whole bunch of blue icons, maybe get some double blue icons going, something along the lines of security checkpoint, which could also be really nice just for disrupting your opponent. Although you both have to discard all upgrades from your hand when you play security checkpoint, so don't play it when you got lots of upgrades you'd like to play. And then maybe you just go into tough as well. And the thing to remember about Grimlock is it is a melee character, so if you do want to go tough, you do have access to body armor, which gives tough free and can only be put onto a melee character, but that's fine. Grimlock Powerful Commander is a melee character. So one of the first things we need to think about with Grimlock is it is going to go down fairly quickly, because your opponent is going to go after it. And your defense here is pretty garbage. You don't have a good defense. You're going to largely be wanting to be in bot mode so that you can use a great skill when you attack. So you've got a defense of 1 and a health of 13. The health is pretty good. The defense is not. So like I've said, you've got a bunch of options here in terms of ways to try and keep Grimlock on the field for a little bit longer. But when you attack, you get to put a Dinobot from like your bag into the KO area in alt mode. Now at this stage, I know some of you know what I'm thinking, but let's spell it out just in case you don't. I still function. You see, the thing about I still function is it lets you grab a card from your KO area. Now there may well be cards that allow you to do this other than I still function. And it may well be that by the time you're watching this, it's a little way in the future. Hey, have we got food in pill form yet? And there are already other cards. In which case, awesome. But as I record this, it's I still function. And what I still function allows you to do is grab a character card from your KO area, put it into play. Incidentally, it is in the mode in which it was KO'd. And you only have 1 health remaining. You put damage on it until it's got 1 health remaining. And then it goes back to the KO at the end of the turn. But that's long enough. You can get it back for a turn. Of course, you could, and this has been confirmed by the official Transformers Facebook group over on their first ever Friday rulings. I did a video about it. I'll pop a link in the description. But they do rulings every Friday now. You can use this to get back any Dinobot, including Grimlock Powerful Commander. So all of a sudden, you've actually got 2 Grimlock Powerful Commander. And then in theory, you can then put multiple characters in the KO area in 1 turn. You can go and put 2 there in 1 turn. Why would you want to put 2 in 1 turn? Quite simply, so that you can get Volcanicus out. Volcanicus is an extremely powerful card. The thing is, you can only play it if you use Dinobot Enigma. And Dinobot Enigma, you play it, and if you've got 5, the correct 5, and it's got to be the Wave 2 Dinobots, not the Wave 1 Dinobots. If you've got all 5 of them, either in play or in your KO area in bot mode, you get to combine them into Volcanicus. So you can speed this up by potentially getting extra Grimlock in there and start spamming I Still Function. I Still Function is an absolutely crucial card when you're playing this Grimlock. But there is another combo that a whole bunch of people have figured out here, and it's Sludge. Sludge, and I mean the Wave 1 Sludge here, is absolutely redonk. He is a mighty stomper, because you can use Grimlock to put Sludge in your KO area. You can then use I Still Function to get Sludge out of your KO area, and then you can heal any of your Dinobots, including Volcanicus. You see, Volcanicus has an absolutely ridiculous health of 56. The thing is, that's not actually that great, because the thing is, although you do have a health of 56, that is 100% true. The problem is that you take all the damage counters from all of your combined Dinobots, so you'll have 55 damage counters on if all of your Dinobots are about to be KO'd. Even if you've got Grimlock with 0 damage on, you'll still have 42 damage counters on. You'll have 14 health remaining and 0 defense. It ain't going to be lasting all that long. But you can actually use Dinobot Sludge to completely heal Volcanicus. It's just not that easy, because here's the thing, right? Here's why that's so difficult. You have got to get 2 Dinobots into your KO area using Grimlock, because you can only play 3 of these Dinobots in a 25-star deck, so you've got to use 2 attacks to get them in there. Then you've got to use a 3rd attack to get Dinobot Sludge in the KO area. Then you've got to grab I Still Function, and you've got to get Sludge out. Here's the thing, though. Dinobot Sludge has the skill, when you flip to alt mode, move any number of damage counters from your other Dinobots to this one. And if we take another look at Grimlock here, we will be reminded that Grimlock will put Sludge in the KO area in alt mode, which means you've got to flip it twice in order to flip to alt mode and get the skill, which means either you flip it while it's in the KO area, which we know now you are allowed to do, then you play I Still Function and use your flip for the turn, or you just get it using I Still Function, flip it, and then use something like Rapid Conversion to get the second flip. Of course, that means we're playing 2 action cards in one turn, so you're going to be relying on something like Brainstorm here, which is not ideal. Although, incidentally, you could use Brainstorm and then double I Still Function. You'd need to have the cards in hand to pull it off, but it is technically possible, and then when you do pull that off, you get to get multiple Dinobots out in one go. And this is what worries me about Grimlock. Grimlock clearly has a broken skill in the most literal sense of the word. And Grimlock is, as I get further away from childhood and my Bumblebee obsession, Grimlock and Hot Rod are my 2 favourite Transformers. Still got a bit of love for Bumblebee, but it's all about Grimlock and Hot Rod for me. And given that there is no Hot Rod in the game, I'm a Grimlock dude. I want to love Grimlock. But if you're playing Volcanicus, your opponent knows you need Grimlock. So you can do everything you can to protect it, but your opponent is going to be going after it. And then it's just slow. It's really slow getting Volcanicus out. And if you're then adding in another turn of Grimlock attacking for Sludge, plus the extra flipping, plus the extra I Still Function, we end up in a little bit of a potential pickle here. The combo whereby you use Grimlock to put Sludge in your KO area, I Still Function it back, heal Volcanicus, and actually have a 0 damage, 56 health combiner, that is a viable strategy in that it is technically possible. Whether you're going to be able to pull it off on a regular basis, I mean, against an aggressive deck, you've got to think you don't. Maybe against a slower deck, which is really focusing on healing and preventing damage, maybe it can work. But I have my reservations. Many people have got in touch asking me to cover this in a video, more so than I think any video in Wossy Plays ever has. So I had to talk about this, and I love me some Grimlock. And I want this to be good, but I expressed reservations about Volcanicus in my Volcanicus video and the over-reliance on Grimlock and the fact your opponent can KO it and lock you out of the game essentially, lock you out of the combining race at least, until you hit an I Still Function. And this is a problem. I love the dumb combos. And the other thing is, you can use this to tech. You can, if you're playing Grimlock, I'm sorry, there is no excuse for not taking every Dinobot into the game, because you never know when you're going to really want one of the other Dinobots. I mean, let's take the other Grimlock, for example. Your opponent might have 2 characters on the field. You might have to knock out both of them in one attack in order to win the game. And you might have stuff like Jaws of Steel to get your bolt up, but you don't have enough attacks to win the game. Firstly, I Still Function brings you another Transformer to use, but secondly, Grimlock's got the bot mode skill, and yes, you put it in alt mode, so you'll have to flip it, but it's only one flip, totally doable, whereby if you KO a character and you do more damage than you need, it can get redirected. And that's what Grimlock does. As much as I adore the Sludge combination, and of course I do, who doesn't? I think there is more mileage here in weird plays like put Wave 1 Grimlock into your KO area, bring it back with I Still Function, flip it, and take a double KO to win the game. Or bring back a Dinobot Snarl, which has an attack of 5, but you get to put a card from your hand on top of your deck, and you've got a Peace Through Tyranny in hand, so you're pretty sure that you can guarantee the KO with Snarl in a way that you couldn't if you weren't using Snarl, if you were using something else to attack with. And maybe these aren't even the best examples, but that's kind of the point here. Because you've already got the 5 Wave 1 Dinobots, and you've got the 5 Wave 2 Dinobots, and, I mean, look, we've gotten each of the 5 in Wave 1 and in Wave 2. You've got to imagine we're getting more Dinobots in the future. The Sludge combo, I love it, but I don't think it's going to work hardly ever. Getting 2 Grimlock out that have got the same name, I love because it breaks the rules of the game. But again, I don't know if that's the best use. But grabbing something like a Wave 1 Grimlock to get a double KO and win the game from a near unassailable position, that is the kind of thing that gets me excited about Grimlock. I think there are things about this Grimlock that people haven't even seen yet, maybe involving cards that aren't even out yet. And as much as I love the Sludge combo, I think we can probably do better. If nothing else, this is one of the most interesting cards we've had released for the Transformers trading card game so far. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a stage of the video where you tell me what you think about Grimlock. Tell me what combinations you're excited about. Tell me how good it could be. Go nuts in the comment section. But please do remember the most important rule. Be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk Transformers and other games. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.